Teacher talking sports, what it does, what do, how we live. And it's Wednesday, so it's time for me to do my weekly picks against the spread. I had a miserable, absolutely terrible week one. I am back to 500 as we see. I went 2-13-1 after week one. Very inauspicious start. Rebounded nicely in week two, but look at last week, 12-4. Not only that, I was 4-4 after the 1 o'clock games, went 5-0, 4 o'clock games, won the Sunday night game, won both of the Monday night games. Man, imagine if I put that in an 18 parlay. Oh. But yes, 500 on the year after 11 games under 500, 23-23-2. Regular season and postseason combined last season went 156, 127, and 12. So I got to keep the momentum going. I got back to 500 rather quick. We got to get over 500 now. So let's take a look at my weekly picks against the spread. Starting with the Thursday night game, I am a Giants fan, but as a Giants fan, I just know that the Cowboys have basically owned us of late. So I hope I'm wrong here, but I am expecting the Cowboys to win by at least a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb owns the Giants, and let's be honest, if there was ever a week 4 game that was must win, that's kind of what it is for the Cowboys in this situation. Tough game here. Kind of hard to read the Jets. One great performance, one game they, didn't necessarily play excellent against a bad Titans team and got smoked by the 49ers. Expecting the Jets to win, but I think the Broncos can at least hold it close. Bo Nix coming off his best performance in his first 3 games. Tough one here because we don't know if Jordan Love is going to start. It's a possibility, but even if he doesn't, the Packers have definitely found a game plan to win with Malik Willis. They're 2-0 with him. Of course, the Vikings are undefeated. Very good defense. Shout out Brian Flores, providing excellent game plan for the defense. But I'm going with the Packers at Lambeau to cover. I never know what to do with the Steelers. I'm going to be honest. I would venture to say that if you took a look at my winning percentage for every team since last season, I would probably have the worst when it comes to Steelers games. Anthony Richardson didn't really play great in week 3, but the Colts got their first win of the season. Steelers, of course, undefeated still. But Jonathan Taylor, excellent performance. I'm going to say the Colts win the game outright. Eagles -2 at Buccaneers. I'm expecting Jalen Hurts to have a good game. Now, actually, in my fantasy league, I'm 2-1. Jalen Hurts is my quarterback. My backup is Jaden Daniels. I'm giving Hurts one more chance, so please come through. And if he does come through, I'm sure the Eagles should cover. I took the Panthers last week. I thought Andy Dalton would give them that spark, and lo and behold, he did. The Bengals are just, this is more of a must-win game than the Cowboys. Let's be honest. 0-3, they fall to 0-4. You could pretty much say sayonara to any chances at reaching the playoffs. So I expect the Bengals to really come out strong and win this game. Dalton doesn't perform quite as well as he did in week 3. Tough one here. The Rams have a ton of injuries, 3 offensive linemen. Their top 2 wide receivers still beat the 49ers, who also had key guys out. Caleb Williams coming off his best performance, albeit took 55, something like that, attempts to throw for his 350 yards. But I expect the Bears defense to really key on Kyron Williams and expect, make Matthew Stafford have to trust these wide receivers who probably wouldn't even be on some teams' rosters. Bears go to 500. Tough one here as well. Big NFC South matchup. Saints coming off their first loss of the season. Falcons 1-2 themselves. I'm going to go with the Saints to win outright. They honestly looked like arguably the best team in the NFL the first 2 weeks. Then had a subpar performance against the Eagles, but were right there. So I'm going to go with the Saints to win on the road outright as underdogs. Let's take a look at the other 8 games of the week, starting with the Jaguars, Texans. Man, the Jaguars' backs are really against the wall. I'm not sure if they're going to win, but I think Trevor Lawrence has his best game of the season. Josh Hines-Allen puts pressure on C.J. Stroud. We saw the Vikings do that to him last week, and I expect the Jaguars to do likewise to keep it close. Patriots, yeah, I get it. They won week 1. They're still not a good team at all. I know the 49ers are down some key pieces, but they rebound after their disappointing loss to the Los Angeles Rams. Consider me a believer in Jaden Daniels. As I mentioned, he's my backup quarterback in fantasy. And if he outperforms Jalen Hurts again, I'll probably be starting him come week 5. Kyler Murray has performed well too. I trust the Commanders' defense more than the Cardinals and expect them to lose by a field goal or win the game. This is a tough one because the Chiefs have played all 3 of their games close. But have had better opponents than the Chargers, especially since it looks like Taylor Heineke will be getting the start for the Chargers. Patrick Mahomes hasn't really had that great game yet, and it comes on Sunday. How do you pick this game? I mean, Deshaun Watson is not good. I'm a Giants fan, as I mentioned, and the Browns looked awful against the Giants. I don't know why I'm taking the Browns. I guess seeing that Raiders performance against the Panthers, and the Raiders really have 0 run game. Not that the Browns have much of one either, but I think the Browns defense way stronger than the Raiders. Max Crosby doesn't seem to be 100%. So I'm going the Browns to cover. Toughest game here because I think the Bills are the best team in the NFL right now. But a road game, Ravens really need it to get back to 500. One of the toughest games to pick Sunday Night Football. I think it's going to be really close. Ravens by a field goal. I'm picking the Dolphins -1 versus the Titans. I'm expecting Will Levis to get benched really soon, maybe even this game for Mason Rudolph. And I'm hoping that the Dolphins start Tyler Huntley. I think he gives them their best chance to win. The Week 4 starter is still unclear, but that's the first Monday night game. The second Monday night game, I get it. The Seahawks are undefeated. I don't trust their offensive line at all against the Lions pass rush led by Aiden Hutchinson. Jared Goff, I believe, will have his best game of the season as well, much like Mahomes. Two of the better quarterbacks who kind of haven't played great the first 3 weeks of the season, but those two teams are combined 5-1. Lions 2-1. I think they move to 3-1. Some tough games on the docket though to pick. Let me know in the comments what picks you agree with, which you disagree with, who are some of your best bets. And hopefully when I'm doing these next week for week 5, I'm over 500, which would be pretty awesome, especially because I was 11 games under 500 after 1 week. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.